Howdy everyone, this is Mopbot, this is not the Diamond Society, and I think I owe y'all an explanation, because it's been a little bit. So here we are on the Asgaard SMP, where we are the Guardians of Asgard, and this is a private server amongst a bunch of IRL friends, kind of bringing us all the way back to the Pentacraft days, the pre-Diamond Society days, where this is just a bunch of friends playing the game, having a great time, and exploring this wonderful, beautiful world together. And something wild going on over there. But speaking of wonderful and beautiful, I have historically been quite a fan of the redstone builds and have historically neglected the building side of Minecraft, but in my much greatened time away, I have spent some time refining my building skills, and I'd like to think they've come quite a long way since I last saw y'all. And if I go ahead and fly up here, this is the start to a brand new world. There's a lot going on, and I can't wait to share it with y'all. But first off, I am running this shaders pack that has become quite a bit more popular in recent times, especially since I've been away from the YouTube community. This is the complimentary shaders pack, and if we take a peek here, I am rocking a solid, what is that, 30 frames per second? Maybe up to 35 in some spots. That is not stellar. So I am rocking the exact same card that I have been for many years. This is the GTX 1060. It is a 3 gig card, and this video not only acts as my way to say hello and welcome back to everybody that is still out there, but this is also my way to test just how much this new card that I have acquired is going to benefit me. And I am now in possession of a RTX 3060. It is a 12 gig card. Massive jump over where we're at right now, and I can't wait to test just how much better this is actually going to be. So this is the first part of a side-by-side comparison where I am rocking 40 frames per second right here. We'll go ahead, swap that out, and we'll see just how much of a bonus this makes, and then continue some work on this place while I kind of explain myself, because, well, a lot's gone on recently. So let's take a step all the way back to August of 2014 upon the channel's inception. Now at this time I was still in high school, and this was a wild time because this channel really started for me as a way to explore content creation and kind of get more used to some different technologies that I've never really seen before. And this also allowed me to meet a bunch of new people in the community, and unsure of the direction that the channel would go, it took me about a week to start off on the Pentacraft LP with a couple of IRL friends, and I had my limits for sure. I was getting into redstone, but I wasn't that awesome. I was kind of liking building and had a couple random small builds that I'd done in the past, but definitely had room to grow. So while that server served me well and I had a fantastic time being a part of that community, it would be about a year later in August of 2015 where I would become a founding member of the Diamond Society. And this for me was huge. Not only as the seasons elapsed did the channel begin to gain some traction, which was a fantastic extrinsic motivator, this community also pushed me to further my redstone abilities as well as my building abilities. And for that reason, I remain today to say that that is probably the best community that I've ever been a part of. It has taught me so much, not only about the game, but also about content creation and interacting with the community. And that community would begin to grow and grow and grow up until its peak, which for me I think was around probably about season 4. At this time it seemed like community interaction was at an all-time high, and not only outside of the server was that happening, but we felt that inside the server as well, sticking to the spawn area of the world and building real close to each other. It really felt like we were tightly knitted together, and that is the kind of feeling that we are sort of aiming to recreate now on this brand new world with this new group of people. As that season came to a close, however, this is when I really started to fall off. This kind of just happened at a time where I was going through some huge changes in life. We are multiple years past the inception of the channel now. I have since graduated high school, gone through college, and started work as a software engineer. Now, the big part of this whole YouTube life that I absolutely loved was the ability to work with others, interact with the community, and being stuck in an office as a software engineer just wasn't for me. I absolutely loved the work, but the environment was just not something I could thrive in, and I was making the transition into education and working with high school students, and that consumed a lot of my time. So I was locked in an office previously, didn't really have any time to commit to this whole hobby, and then transitioning into the education field, I kind of found these same struggles. I was putting many, many hours into sort of catching up to where I otherwise would have been had I gone directly into education, and all those extra hours meant that I just really didn't have time to play the game. So then, just 4 episodes into that season in August of 2020, seems like August is maybe kind of a hot spot for channel activity, I went completely dark. It was about 2 years ago, and this is my first time back since. So I now find myself teaching electronics and computer science courses at the high school level, which is absolutely fantastic because I get to combine the work that I so much loved in the past with the interaction that I very much craved that I was missing as an engineer stuck in an office. And the most interesting thing that I bumped into is the students' interest in Minecraft that really piqued my own interest and kind of sold me on coming back into this whole content creation realm. Not only do I feel like I'm in a much better headspace now, and I'm feeling much happier in general than I was in the past and ready to come back to this whole wonderful world, seeing these kids play this game and talk about the ways that they're utilizing redstone, and in fact overlapping with the projects that I teach in my electronics course, are absolutely wild. I can assign a project for them to build with circuitry, they do that, and then in their free time they open up the game and they rebuild everything inside of it, which has just been absolutely incredible for me. If you told me in 2014 when I was in high school that my explorations in redstone would one day come full circle and I would be teaching students in high school mechanics that they would transfer into the game and do stuff with redstone on their own, was just, I wouldn't believe it. That would just be absolutely mind-blowing to me. So now that I am quote-unquote back, the renaissance begins here. Don't get me wrong, I am still wildly busy. I often put in over 70 hours a week, but that does still leave me a bit of free time to play this game and just have fun with it. So expect some more videos in the future of me just kind of updating you guys on the world and what's been going on. I don't know that I will commit to a specific LP format like I have in the past, but I at least want to share this world with you guys because there's some pretty awesome stuff planned. And as the sun is coming up behind this build, this has started to really come together and really form a shape. So before we go ahead and explain kind of what's going on in this build, because there's quite a bit going on that y'all have not seen that's been done before I started recording, I do want to point out one absolutely fantastic fabric mod that I've been using. This allows me to see the light levels, so I can go ahead through here and say, well, we got some zeros here, so let's just drop a torch right there. Look at that, that's all lit up. I can do exactly the same thing over here and just kind of keep that pattern going. So even when it's nice and bright out like this, I am able to see all the light levels without having to mess around with like F3 or any of that nonsense like that. So that's absolutely fantastic. It's made this super easy to mob-proof areas like this, even in the daylight, which is really, really handy. Okay, well, it's raining now, and I must say, these new shaders are absolutely fantastic. I love the puddles and how the light reflects off of them. So this looks a whole lot smoother now if I go ahead and hit F3. We're averaging roughly 80 FPS, maybe just a little bit shy of that. My graphics card is still running at 100%. I don't know if it's supposed to do that, but yeah, those fans are spinning, and that is loud. So hopefully it's worth it because, man, this really does look pretty neat here. But let's go ahead and take a look at this whole thing. In fact, let me go ahead and sleep first. Boop. That's better. And looking at this place, oh, we still got a couple puddles out here. And the rainbow, what absolutely fantastic detail is supplied here. So one absolutely awesome thing as well is I can hit F4 now. Look at that. The FreeCam mod is super neat. It allows me to especially when building, get a really good perspective as to what everything looks like without having to look away or bring on a second account or any of that nonsense. So here's just kind of like an overall view of what we're looking at so far. And man, the puddles down here, that is brilliant. But let's go to F4, jump right back up here and take a look at this. So the front entrance to the area is over here. We're going to end up with a sort of courtyard design back here. We are greeted by this wonderful clock tower going up here. Kind of talked about the arms before, and we've got the bell going on inside there. Super happy with this. That lets out down here into this bridge that overlooks some of the rest of the server. So we've got more stuff going on over there. We can see the bridge that we have down there as well. And if we go ahead and walk over here, this isn't linked up yet. This tower will eventually contain something, but I've been mostly focused on exteriors up to this point here, and we've got a staircase that's going to go down to what will be the entrance to the building right here. And there's that. And I added a couple extra details that I don't think y'all have seen quite yet. And if we go back here, we did see this though. This is the clearing of all the trees. This is where the main room is going to be. We're going to put a throne room, have some storage in there. Again, that'll be coming in the future. We've got a nice big open area, and I can't go quite too far because there's somebody's starter house back there. I don't know if that's going to move or not, but I would rather not interfere with that. So we've got one staircase that goes up to that bridge over there. We'll have another one that comes down to this bridge down here. And here we go. This branches right off over here. So I believe the owner of this build was going to build some kind of tower or entranceway to link up, and we'll end up connecting our two together. So I've got to do quite a bit of work under here. This is still kind of a skeleton, but this is going to allow us to have travel through the water, but still just kind of break up the area and make it very clear where this build starts and where it ends. So I'll have some kind of docks or something down here with maybe some custom greenery or something, and probably add some extra detail on these walls because that's just a little bit too flat at the moment. And if we come in here, we're also going to be able to go up here. Right now I have it just through this Endor teleporter. Also a data pack, which is pretty neat, allows us to travel vertically very, very quickly as opposed to elevators. Otherwise, we're right back where we started. So in here, this is the only interior that I've done so far. If we take a peek in here, I have my auto fish farm, and down along the bottom, not super decorated, but we have the storage for that, as well as a couple of items that I've pulled out of there. So wow, look at that. The way the sun reflects off that is absolutely beautiful. And one last thing before I sign off here, my skin looks just a little bit different. It's an F1 here. A little bit more texture in my face since you would have last seen me. A little bit more texture in the pants as well. Just breaking up this flat color, and I blacked out the t-shirt as well. So just another part of that 2023 update that has just made my life, well, hopefully better. We'll see. Lots to come. I hope to see you guys soon.